Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Future Focus Fridays, brought to you by the Career and Technical Education Department with Stanley County Schools. We appreciate you tuning in. This week we will be exploring the Adobe Academy pathway. This pathway comes to us from the Audio Visual Career Cluster. So let's get started with some quick introductions of our CTE leadership team. My name is Mindy Mills. I'm the Director of Career and Technical Education. Next up, we have Sandy Brunden, our CTE Curriculum Specialist, Talina Gooch, a Career Development Coordinator at Albemarle and North Area Schools, and Karen Brown, Career Development Coordinator for South and West Area Schools. Sandy, will you get us started with our discussion about the Adobe pathway?
Absolutely. Here are the courses in the Adobe pathway. The first class you will take is Adobe Visual. Once you've completed this course, then you'll have the option of taking Adobe Digital or Adobe Video. Or if Adobe is your thing, you can take both of these classes. You will also have the opportunity to do advanced studies or an internship, which can open up career options and connections for you. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our Adobe teachers who are going to give us a little more detail about what students learn in these pathway courses. We have with us Ms. Chandra Snuggs from Albemarle High School, Ms. Heather Jones from North Stanley High School, Mr. John Thompson from West Stanley High School. In just a moment, each of them are going to talk for just a minute and tell you about their different programs. Ms. Snuggs, will you get us started?
Sure. So Adobe Visual is divided into 3 Adobe programs. You have Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. In Photoshop, students learn how to edit images and create high-quality graphics. In Illustrator, students use vector graphics to create logos, icons, and also drawings. Finally, in InDesign, that's a desktop publishing software where students learn how to create flyers, brochures, and magazines.
In digital design, we use Dreamweaver. It's a project-based curriculum that develops the key digital communication skills such as design, project management, research and communication, and web planning and design and development technicals, and it develops technical skills using Dreamweaver. So it does build on what you learned in visual, but takes it a step further. We do earn the Dreamweaver credential in that class. We look at web authoring using Dreamweaver and maintain web content as well. And to John.
I'm teaching the Adobe Video, as some of these ladies are. It's probably my favorite class to teach. The credential we get is Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're basically learning video editing and really anything associated with video editing. It's project-based like the other courses are. We learn about different camera angles, camera techniques. So there's some hardware that you get to learn in there. Different camera movements, filmmaking techniques, and some of the projects we do, we create videos for the school, informational videos. The kids always like the special effects that we do, so they do everything from your Harry Potter, Star Wars types of things, which can get really interesting. And we do some movie trailers and short film. So there's a lot involved with it besides just the technical end, and it really sparks some creativity in our students.
Thanks, everyone. I know students really enjoy taking your classes and they learn a lot of skills. Speaking of students, we're going to introduce our next set of guests. We have with us today Macaulay Roach, a current student at North Stanley High School, and Julian Freeman, a graduate of West Stanley High School. Macaulay, let's start with you. Tell us about your Adobe classes, why you like them, what you like about them, and the types of projects you've worked on.
All right, so I've taken Adobe Visual and Adobe Video, and I took Visual my sophomore year and Video my junior year. And of course, my junior year was cut short because of COVID But in Adobe Visual, we work with Photoshop, Illustrator, and a couple other things I just can't remember. But I really enjoyed it, and I had a bunch of creativity. I could do whatever I wanted. And one of my favorite projects I did was a Will Smith typography, where I described Will Smith with words and all that, and I shaped it into Will Smith. And then in Adobe Video, we Miss Jones would give us movies and all that, and we'd have to go in and edit it, and we could actually make it like put our own spin on it and have it, this could come first, and with different outcomes and everything.
That sounds great. It's so great to see you guys learning new skills and enjoying what you're doing. So, Jillian, you also took the Adobe classes. Tell us about some of your experiences and what you really enjoyed.
So I took them with Mr. Thompson in high school, and I really didn't know about the whole Adobe realm until then. And it really opened up just a whole plethora of doors of opportunities for me. And I learned so much about creating and really saw that it was a possibility to, have a career field in that realm. And so now I am pursuing a degree in graphic design at UNC Charlotte, and I will be graduating this December. And I already have a job offer with the place that I internshipped, Pinkney Marketing in Charlotte. And there I'm still using Adobe every day. It's what I kind of live and breathe right now. Anything from websites, Google Ads, emails, logos, you name it. That's what I'm doing now. And I really believe that having those classes in high school put me way ahead of other students in college. Like, I had friends that college was their first introduction to Adobe. And so having that foundation was pretty crucial for me. And I feel like I still see the benefits of it today.
All right. In our next segment, we're going to hear from 3 industry partners who all use Adobe skills in 3 very different careers.
That's right, Mandy. Today, we are going to talk with 3 Stanley County graduates who are all working in the industry. Let's get started with some introductions. If we can start out with each of you introducing who you are, what school you graduated from, and tell us about your work.
Okay. I'm Erin King. I graduated from North Stanley High School, went to Stanley Community College, and I'm a title clerk currently here at Friendly Chevrolet.
And Mike?
All right. My name is Mike Brooks. I am a graduate West Stanley High School class of 2003. I currently work at Fox Sports as a graphic designer in our real-time department. Carried several different graphics jobs following a graphic arts and imaging technology degree from Appalachian State. But I've been at Fox for nearly 8 years now. So
awesome. And Sean?
Can you guys hear me good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My name is Sean Burleson. I graduated from South Stanley High School, and I'm a freelance videographer. I work under Mudhook Productions, and I create video content for clients like weddings, corporate work, local businesses, basically anything, even like music videos and stuff like that. So it's pretty wide variety of people I work with and stuff.
Thanks, everyone. We're very proud of everything you've done since you graduated from Stanley County Schools. So the next thing we would like to know from each of you is what pathway you followed after high school and about your post-secondary education choices, which some of you touched on already, but if you will, just kind of elaborate on that.
So I graduated from North Stanley, I said, and went to Stanley Community College for the graphic design degree, where I got my associates. I started an internship through Friendly Chevrolet here, where I have my job. I am currently a title clerk, but I also do our marketing with another girl here. So we are in charge of all marketing and ads for our vehicles, and we do all the advertising, all the Facebook, all the analytics, things like that, for just trying to sell these cars and make them look nice and get them out of here. And
as I mentioned, I went to West Stanley and a few years removed from high school. I didn't go directly into college, but I did have the opportunity to return to college in my early 20s and went to Appalachian State, studied in graphic arts and imaging technology there, which at the time was really more of a print-driven major. And I was fortunate enough that in that time that they pivoted and created sort of a digital pathway where we could get into digital processes and web design and some coding, some 3D design, and I was able to use that experience. Had an internship through my college through the sports marketing department. I kind of knew that's what I wanted to get into was sports marketing. Had an opportunity to work for a nonprofit as well. Did a lot of InDesign, desktop publishing there. Got really familiar with that program. And then a few, some years ago, had an opportunity to join Speed Channel, which is now FS1 Fox Sports, and worked my way through as a 2D artist. Kind of cut my teeth in the industry, and then worked my way into now work in the real-time graphics group, and I do user interface design.
All right. As I said, I went to South Stanley High School, and in high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I didn't really have a set career path. I loved creating. When I was younger, I liked drawing. That kind of turned into me pursuing music as a creative outlet, and then that became video production. And I was like filming video and stuff with my friends in high school. I did take one online class that had something to do with video editing. It was like video editing in the Renaissance. Not sure how those two work together, but they thought that was good. It was on Moodle, so I was like, all right, I'm taking that. And I didn't have the opportunity to take any Adobe classes in high school. That's definitely something I would have jumped on, because I was interested in creating as far as like video or actually even Photoshop stuff. I would have definitely been interested. I would have been interested in that. My graduation project was actually on video editing, and I was learning to use Premiere, teaching it to myself and learning some things with that. And they did have a class that did the announcement videos and stuff that kind of taught students how to video edit and stuff, but I didn't go into that. And I did have that teacher help me a little bit on my graduation project. And I had brought up some things to him that he didn't even know how to do. So it was it definitely would have been nice to have that opportunity. But I went from there to Stanley Community College and to get an associate in arts. I interned for Channel 21, where I met James Cotton, the manager at the time, and learned a lot through him. And he taught me a lot. He did go to film school. So I learned a lot from him. But a lot of the stuff I learned was through YouTube, teaching it to myself. Because I didn't have those classes or those opportunities, I learned a lot through the internet, going out and shooting and filming and teaching these things to myself. Just kind of learning through experience.
Awesome.
And it's kind of been a very interesting journey with that. Sorry. I would definitely recommend people, well, if you're interested in learning and kind of creating video or even working in photography or anything like that, definitely pursuing learning those Adobe skills. And like Erin mentioned earlier, she uses a different software now too, but like a lot of stuff with learning this Adobe programs and stuff, it's similar to a lot of other stuff like Adobe Premiere, very similar to other video editing programs. So once you've kind of learned that, it kind of transfers over to other things as well.
Mike, what about you? You took the classes actually in school. Was that a big benefit to you?
And any advice I could give for any potential student is that Photoshop is really the diving board into the creative world. You're not going to find one design house that doesn't use Photoshop, and having a good understanding of that, and it can carry you, just like Erin said, it can carry you into several different softwares to make that learning curve much less steep.
Thanks, everybody. That sounds great. One last question we want to ask you before we cut out is, what about some professional skills that are needed in your industry? Not necessarily the technical skills you've already talked to us about, but what other professional type skills do students need, and how could they possibly improve those as they go through high school?
Ours or mine would be working in the marketing, just listening to people and knowing what people want and what they want to see. And I mean, we try not to advertise the clunkers around here. I mean, people want to see the nice cars and the nice, the moms want to see the Tahoes and the Suburban, things like that. You just really have to know who your audience is. I mean, you just got to appeal to who you want to appeal to and who you're trying to sell to. And that's just how it is for us here. And as far as graphics and everything, you just have to know who your audience is, honestly. So that's a lot of it, listening to what people want or knowing what they want to see.
I think for us, in my situation, it's kind of unique because our office is kind of scattered out around the country, and we have a large portion of our office is based out of Los Angeles. So we have, we're obviously dealing with a time delay of engaging with our other team members. So communication is a real big key for us. Making sure that we're collaborating, that we're being patient in that collaboration. Taking the time to, the old adage is measure twice, cut once. It's the same with graphic design. You want to make sure that you're taking that extra time to answer the necessary questions before you dive into something creative. Not to the point where you make it so mechanical where you can't actually be creative. You certainly don't want to be robotic, but it's one of those things that you get that muscle memory over time, that you really understand how the give and take works when you're a part of a team. And then as it pertains to the industry, I think that, just like Sean and I, much of us are beyond high school and college. We're self-taught. We find new things to dive in to get more enriched in that field, and we want to get excited about new technologies, new ways to do things that optimize our workflow. Because ultimately, none of us live to work. We work to be able to enjoy our lives and our families, and so if we get that chance to do a good job and do it more efficiently, then that gives us more time to be human.
I would say starting out, similar to Mike and Aaron, is communication and just knowing who your audience is. Knowing who you're working for, and as far as like having a good idea of what their goal is. If you're creating for like a brand or something, you would need to know the purpose of what you're making that for, and the audience, and what their message is and what story you have to get across. You got to be creative, have creativity, be able to think differently. That's one big thing with this field. And also just building on education and continuing to grow. I think these things can happen through taking these courses, and also through teaching yourself. If you're interested in like video work, you can start filming today using just your phone, and getting out there and doing that. So, yeah.
Well, we thank y'all all for being here and participating in our Future Focus Friday this week. And we can't wait to see where you go. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you again next Friday.